Welcome to the Juggling Mind and Money podcast with Steve Rowe and Jessica Schlupp-Taylor. Steve Rowe is the founder of Lucent Financial Planning and an award-winning independent financial planner. He helps you to use your money and have a great life. Jess Schlupp-Taylor is a psychologist supporting people through change, challenges, and forks in the road of life. Together, they will help unblock the sludge in your mind, stopping you from achieving financial and psychological happiness.
Hello and welcome to episode 22, Two Little Ducks, quack, quack, of Juggling Mind and Money. And I'm Steve, founder of Lucent Financial Planning and a chartered financial planner. And this is Keely.
Hi, I'm a chartered financial planner at Lucent Financial Planning also.
And you are incredibly excited about being on this today, aren't you, Keely?
So excited. Cannot wait.
You didn't say, oh, I'm so scared of doing these things or anything like that. But you have volunteered because you know how important our subject matter is today.
Very, very true. It's a really important subject. Today, Steve and I are going to be talking about protection. Shield.
Hang on. Before you switch off, ladies and gentlemen, it is a very important subject and we'll try and make it a bit of fun. And it's so important and so grave that Keely's wore all black today, isn't he?
Yeah, funeral theme.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly right.
Which is what it's about, which is pretty horrendous, but
yeah,
also important because we need to protect people.
Diagnose Steve. There's obviously something wrong with him. Jess delves into what it could be.
Keely, I know you want me to take this life insurance, but I just can't see the point. I want to spend my money on fun stuff like jumpers and holidays and do sexy investments and tax saving if I'm going to do financial planning. I don't need insurance. I'm never going to have to claim on that, am I? I've never claimed so far. Would it ever happen to me? I mean, I know some people, but they never go to the gym. They don't eat from the office fruit bowl because it's got too much sugar. But then on the other hand, I do keep on worrying about what would happen to my family if something happened to me. It's like a constant cloud over my head. What should I do, Keely?
Steve, you've got your head in the sand. You're like an ostrich. I saw one at the weekend at the safari park.
Did you?
Yeah.
What safari park did you go to?
West Midlands, and it came in through the window.
Did you see the giraffe?
Yeah. You can't feed anything anymore, though. They're all on diets as well.
They're not allowed to eat from the fruit bowl.
No, they're not. But that's what you're like. You've never needed insurance to pay out because you're alive. Which is great. But it's to protect those that are still living after someone sadly passes away.
That's true. And following our discussion in the car last week when you begged me not to have a heart attack. Well, you didn't even beg. It was sort of more of a just an aside with no great feeling involved whatsoever. Don't have a heart attack, Steve.
Please don't have a heart attack or have a stroke.
That's right. So financial protection. You know, this is very important, I think. It's the solid base of all our financial plans.
Yeah.
And it's about protecting what you've already got.
Yeah. And there's no point doing those sexy investments if you're not protected first. You can't run without walking first.
You can't, because then you might stumble.
And fall. And that's no good, is it? It's really important to be protected because it's peace of mind for you and your family and just knowing that you're going to be all right. And if the worst thing does happen, you don't want to be stressing about that. It's going to be probably the worst time of your life. If you do get sick or someone sadly passes away, that's going to be terrible. You're going to be so filled up with grief and everything else. You don't want to have to be worrying about money at that time as well.
You're right, it's absolutely appalling. So I think anyone who ever questions our recommendations as to why they should have protection should be made to sit in a meeting with a grieving widow or widower who hasn't had this protection and just see how they feel after that.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it?
I think it's the worst part about our job.
Yeah.
Great that we can sit there and help,
Yeah.
but definitely the worst part because it's just awful.
Yeah. And it's not, it's not too expensive. If everybody puts into that pot, the insurer, it's shared risk. And then if the worst is to happen, you get the payout. But that means the premiums for each person, they're normally very reasonable.
That's it. So it might not happen to you. It might be a complete waste of money.
Hopefully it is.
Hopefully it is, because otherwise, if you get a payout,
Yeah,
something
something
awful's
terrible's happened. Yeah.
But it does happen to people, and everyone knows someone, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's got a story about someone that's got sick or sadly passed too soon, haven't they?
It's horrible. So, just to sort of compound what we've talked about so far and how horrible it is. So, I've got friends, you wouldn't believe that. I know.
How many?
Well, lots I would call them friends, but whether they say the same thing is another matter. They might say, "Oh, well, I just said hello one morning."
Besties for life.
So I got friends, and some of them have had, sadly, people die on them, partners, husbands, wives. And I tell you what, I think this is the worst I've ever felt. And it's not because they've ever seen me about being a client, but it's knowing that if I'd have said, "Hey, mate, if you looked at this, you should do," to everybody, that they would have been all right.
Yeah.
And there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Right. And because we just go out, a few beers.
Yeah, they're not a client, are they? They're just friends.
Yeah, they're my friends,
Yeah.
but I'm not their friend, maybe.
Yeah.
So they might not have wanted that discussion.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, but I know
Yeah.
that I should be fixing
Yeah,
that
should have
before it
pushed it
happened.
more. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's works the opposite way around, doesn't it? If something bad is to happen to one of our clients, the fact that you've given them that recommendation to have that policy and they've taken it out, it's going to make you feel so good that you've done that and they're protected and they've not got to worry.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've never had a claim on one I've set up for someone.
Yeah.
It's like I've given them immunity to death and illness.
How many years is that over?
20 years.
That's really good going.
That I know of. Some people might not be with us.
Yeah, true.
But, there's clients anymore, so we might not know. Anyway.
Good stat.
Well, what I've said then is obviously not a guarantee. It's just a flippant thing, for anyone out there going, "Oh, Steve's promising you'll never get ill." That's not true. It's just what's happened. So I think, because we don't like to harangue people, do we?
No.
In our meetings, we think we're a partnership with our clients.
Yeah, of course.
We think you should do this. Here is why.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to be going on at them.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's their choice, isn't it? It's their life. But, even if you have made that recommendation, at least you can feel good that you did the right thing and you sort of strongly suggested what they should do. And then it's up to them to follow it.
Exactly. So, we like to be liked as well, don't we? But sometimes we have to give you the truth.
Yeah.
The 2-barrel shotgun of truth. And, you need to do it. Now, also, I would like to point out that people might say, "Oh, you're only doing it for whatever reason, monetary or whatever." Now, obviously, we would get paid, but I think it's important to understand how immensely annoying filling out protection applications is, isn't it? You love them,
They're
don't
the
you?
most back and forth, aren't they, of anything we recommend. There's a lot involved and it's quite a hefty application. So there is a lot of work involved with setting it up.
Highly irritating.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say.
Least favourite thing to recommend in terms of work involved.
But we're happy to do that because that is not as irritating as you getting ill, not having enough money to live on, having to sell your house to make ends meet. That is really irritating.
That is way worse than doing an application form.
I feel today like we've had a little bit of a counselling session.
It has
You know,
been, hasn't it?
where we're just moaning. No one listens to us. Bit like this podcast, actually. No one listens. Although it should be pointed out, Keely, guess how, well, we're on 22 episodes,
Yeah.
but what percentage of all podcasts in the whole world does that put us in? What the top banding?
Oh, what of how many podcasts have made it to episode 22 without failing beforehand or closing?
Mm-hmm.
Like the top 20%?
No, it's better.
Better, top 10%?
It's better.
5?
Top 1.
What? No other podcast make it that far. That's a bit shocking, isn't it?
Isn't that, mate? What do you mean shocking?
No, like you'd think there'd be way more that make it to episode 20. There's
No,
hundreds
because
of
people don't bother, do they? They give up,
Wow.
but not us.
Not us. So if you're still here, thank you very much.
Yeah. Sorry Jess isn't here today, but we've been like ships in the night, Jess and I, recently. Being on holidays with our allotted times for doing these. But that's why we get people like Keely, who enthusiastically and excitedly has joined up. Okay, so we've been through the problem, right? If the worst happens, you need some financial protection
Yeah.
to help you out, because otherwise all your plans for retiring early, the great life you're going to live, helping your kids out to get them on the property ladder, all the holidays and travel plans you've got planned, that's a house of cards without your income and your ability to earn. And if you've died, your family are going to be in the same position. As well as not having you around, they're going to not have the money to do those things. Okay, so just some quick examples, Keely.
Yeah.
Tell us about statutory sick pay.
Yeah, so it will be 80% of an employee's earnings or the flat rate of £118.75. That'll be from April this year. Out of those, you get whatever is lower out of the two. So that gets paid after sort of 6 months, maybe up to 2 years. For some employers, and then after that you're on your own. So if you've got something that's a long-term thing, or a little bit longer than that, then you're going to be having no income at that point and you're ill.
So a long-term thing being your life,
Yeah,
hopefully living, but sick or disabled, can't do your job, work paid out for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Then the only benefits after that you might be universal credit or employment. Oh, forget the name now. ESA.
Yeah.
Employment support allowance, I think it is.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's a hard life. And most people, if they were given those figures, would think, well, I couldn't live on that.
Yeah.
Well, you could be if you ain't.
You might have to.
You're going to have to.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
it.
choice.
Yeah. And
okay. And if your husband or wife died.
Yeah, so for that you'd get bereavement support. So you can either get out of a one-off payment of 3,500 and then 18 monthly payments of 350, and that's the most you can get. So there is another option which is less. So if you qualify for the highest amount,
and that isn't going to scratch the surface, is it?
No,
that might be just a couple of months' salary of your partner that's died.
It's just such a big gap from what the state will provide as sort of like the minimum safety net compared to what you're actually going to need.
So what is there available to you is essentially very little.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you might have a death in service at work.
Yeah.
But not every employer offers that.
Yeah.
That might be 2 or 3 years' salary.
Mm-hmm.
So say I've got kids, they're 10 years old, and I've got 2-3 years' salary, and death in service because they've died.
Yeah.
That's, that's not going to sort my wife out for long, is it?
No, it's not, exactly.
It's not going to pay for much at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the important reasons. And as I said earlier, when you sat in a room with someone who hasn't had this protection and they've turned up, it is a very different conversation to where someone has had the right amount of protection.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. But it's awful in both situations. But in the second scenario, where they've got enough life insurance, for example, being paid out, you know that financially they're going to be okay. They just have to grieve. In the first scenario, where they haven't got any money, there's no more income coming in, and they're grieving as well,
Yeah.
but they just don't know what to do.
Hmm.
It is awful. It's the worst. I hate it. I can't describe how much I hate,
It's really hard,
those
isn't
meetings.
it?
And we do our best, but ultimately it needs to be set up beforehand.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to take a quick break and then come back with the fixes. It's done the emotional bit now, haven't we, Keely?
Yeah.
Keely, start crying in the break, everyone.
And now a message from our sponsors. Jess, Steve, there are no sponsors. This is embarrassing.
Hello and welcome back. Right, so far today we've been talking about protection, protecting what you've got so your future plans aren't the house of cards that will come tumbling down at the slightest piece of bad luck.
Hmm.
We've talked about the need of it, why people, how awful it is if something happens and they're not appropriately protected, and how giving this, it gives you a solid base that you can then build on and think about all the exciting stuff. And fingers crossed, when you get it, it's a waste of money, because otherwise something awful's happened to you. Okay, so let's talk about the financial fixes, the type of protections you can get. So first of all, life assurance. Keely, explain what that is.
Yeah, so if you get life insurance, you can either get it for whole of life or a specified term. And what would happen then is if somebody is to sadly pass away, then the insurer would pay out a lump sum to you in that event, and you'd just be paying a monthly premium for that. You can get the lump sum on an increasing basis, so it goes up with an inflation as an example, or you could just get it level, which means it stays the same.
Okay, so called in to the Association of British Insurers. I regularly quote them around the office, don't I?
Yeah, daily.
Like, this hasn't been prepared, everyone. This is just a normal
It's
conversation.
just all in your head that you've already
Yeah.
stored.
98% of life insurance claims were paid out in 2024, amounting to 3.7 billion. So all of those people, I reckon, said, it won't happen to me.
Yeah.
But 3.7 billion of
Yeah.
claims, and pretty much all of them have paid out. So life insurance, like, all they need is a death certificate.
Yeah.
Are you dead? If the answer is yes, it will pay out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it's quite a common misconception because of the media and, such else history, is that people often think that, I'm not going to get that because they don't pay out. But, that stat shows they do pay out. There are instances where they can't do, and that's because people have been negligent. I can't say the word.
Well, normally they're being fraudulent.
Fraudulent, yeah. They've not been honest when they've, disclosed what they have or haven't got. But you can see in that stat, they do pay out. This does work.
And so life insurance isn't for you. It's not for the people who die. It's for the people who live. Moira Summers said that. Do you know who Moira Summers is?
Not sure, actually.
I love Moira. She's brilliant. She's a Canadian financial psychologist, an author.
Amazing.
She said, I'm goofy.
Wonder where she got that from.
Well, she wasn't meaning my teeth, which could be true. But yeah. But I think she said it in a nice way.
Yeah, in an endearing way.
Yeah. She can be my friend. Okay, so life insurance is very important. Do you know the best way of thinking about this?
No.
There was a company called Dead Happy.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone bust now, but they were all about getting insurance to get your death wish.
Yeah.
And your death wish might be a big party.
Oh, yeah.
When you die, or getting an amount of money to leave to certain people. So, for example, I've been going to Cheltenham races every year for forever, since I was 17 in the festival. So in my will, I've set some money aside so the people I go with can still go
Ah,
and
that's
get
cute.
my round in.
Ah, nice.
I only buy 1 round a year, so
Just the one.
it's very small.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you could do that. So,
Yeah.
right, here's enough money when I'm gone that you can carry on without me and raise a drink to me.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that's quite a good way of thinking of it,
Yeah.
I think. And you can say, right, for a regular premium
Yeah.
of X amount a month, you can literally give bundles of cash to people
Yeah.
when you've gone. And the only thing you have to do is die, which is a bit tough. I think that's a good positive way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, this is a loss to me.
Yeah.
It's not a loss to me. It's
a gain to the family and loved ones.
So flip that around psychologically,
Mm-hmm.
and you might think, oh, actually,
Yeah.
it's not getting me down.
Yeah.
Another thing, you insure your car, don't you?
Yeah.
And you insure your dog.
Yeah. And a house.
Yeah.
Most people insure their phones.
Yeah. So people insure all that stuff, but
Yeah.
not themselves.
Yeah, which is crazy, isn't it?
It is. It's ridiculous when you think about it.
You should be more important than any inanimate object.
Exactly. I'm a bit like an inanimate object.
It's quite hard to say that, isn't it?
It is. On a Saturday. Just sit there. That's it. So you insure all this stuff, but not yourself, who's earning the money to
Yeah.
go and pay for it all.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
You should be insuring yourself
Insure
first.
the source first.
Yeah, the source,
Yeah.
exactly. So that brings us to income protection.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sick or disabled and you can't work, then purely objectively and financially in terms of money, it might be the equivalent of you being dead, but you still have to look after yourself,
Yeah.
right? So that money, you're not earning it, you're not getting it from anywhere. You still need it to look after your family if you're gone. But you haven't got the ability to earn it anymore. So, income protection. Tell us about that, Keely.
So in return for a regular premium, you'd then get paid a sort of fixed salary, if you like, and you can choose the term. So you might get it A, until you get better, B, until you retire. If you cancel a plan, obviously it stops paying. So you sort of, it just pays you a salary until you sort of are able to go back to work, really.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
it's just sick pay, isn't it?
Basically just sick pay. And again, you can get it, increasing or not. So you can get it going up with inflation as well.
Okay. Now, statistic for you.
Oh, we love a stat.
The average claim on income protection is for 7 years.
Yeah. So that's much longer than that the state cover, the sick pay we spoke about earlier, that's kind of 6 months to 2 years. That's far surpassing that, isn't it? So those last 5 years, makes a big difference.
So 7 years without income, that's going to knock your financial goals for forever, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
If you do recover.
Yeah.
If you don't recover, then you're going to be skint for forever.
For forever, yeah.
So these plans can be set up. You can set them up so they don't pay out for a certain amount of time. That's called a deferred period.
Yeah.
You might have that coinciding with your work sick pay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can have them pay out for a set term, which might be 2 years, which we don't ever really recommend because we want it to cover you until you retire.
Yeah.
Right. And then your retirement savings will kick in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this could be, depending how old you are, could be 20 years or something.
Yeah.
So it protects you against the worst that can possibly happen. And income protection pays out an income. Generally, it's tax-free and it replaces your salary. All right. You've got a quote from Cole Richards, haven't you, Keely?
Income protection is the foundation of a solid financial plan.
Why is that?
Just to give yourself that cover, isn't it? So if you're off, like you said, this could be a long time that you might be sick. So even if you did have some savings, as an example, if you haven't got this protection, if you're off for a long time, you're basically just going to deplete everything you've got. And like you said, it's just going to kind of put back all of your goals, probably for forever.
So you're never going to achieve them.
Yeah, you're never going to get anywhere. Some people kind of might have that thought in their head, like, I'll be all right. I've got 50 grand in the bank or whatever it might be. But generally speaking, you know, the amount that people have got in cash is just not going to cover them for, you know, potentially, like you said, 7 years, could be longer.
So this is so important that at Lucent Financial Planning, for all our staff members, we have income protection until, can't remember the age, was it 60,
Yeah,
65?
yeah, that's it.
Something like that. So full long-term protection. So everyone's all right
Yeah,
until that age.
yeah.
And if we're doing it, that means you probably should be as well. Okay. So the next one, critical illness cover. What's critical illness?
Critical illness is you get a lump sum paid out if you're diagnosed with a list of predetermined conditions. So generally here we're talking about sort of, you know, heart conditions or attacks, strokes, cancers, this kind of thing. So they pay out. You have to live 30 days and then after that it pays you. So generally, these are sort of sometimes added on to a life cover. So, you know, either way, you're going to be protected, because if you didn't make it, you know, then the life cover will kick in. But if you just got ill and then sort of recovered, then it would still pay out, but you've got to live that 30 days. The conditions can't be changed, so they're agreed at the start of the plan. So
that's important, isn't it? Because it means you got a lump sum that you could do your house up with if you need it adapted to your condition, or pay for medical.
Yeah, might need some treatment, operations.
Yeah.
You might want to go private maybe at the hospital and get something done,
or gives you, you know, for whatever it might be. So it gives you
Yeah.
massive peace of mind. Indeed.
Yeah.
Megan Lertz, critical illness, said critical illness cover is about ensuring you can focus on recovery and not on financial stress. So one of my family members, 20 odd years ago, had cancer and they didn't have any of this cover. And so they had to go to work.
Yeah.
Now, shame on their employer, because they were awful to him at the time, but he had to deal with all that stress as well as
Yeah.
trying to recover from cancer. Right? Okay, so in order, I would say most important, if you got family, life insurance,
Yeah.
then income protection.
Yeah. Then
Because as long as you're signed off by a doctor that you can't work, it would pay out. But critical illness, I think, is less important, but it can be a great fillip if
Yeah.
if
Critical
something's
illness is generally more expensive than life cover, but that's because you're so much more likely to get poorly than you are to die. So
That's it.
It's more likely to be needed.
It's all about the risk.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if you do get something, it'll pay out, keep you on an even keel, you get better, and then you can go back and work
Yeah.
and smash it with no long-term problems because of it. So lastly, we'll look at now private medical cover. So this might be to pay for treatment in hospitals privately rather than going through the NHS. What do you think about private medical, Keely?
I think it's great. We had a client here at Lucent who we'd recommended private medical cover to, and she had cancer, and she went through the process, and she was waiting on the NHS waiting list for the appointments. She also went down the private route, and she'd managed to have all the consultations, have the treatment, and have the recovery from the cancer. All before she'd even got kind of the initial stage appointment from the NHS. So it just shows, you know, the speed of it happening. It makes such a difference, because sometimes with these things, you know, like cancer, sadly, the sooner it's treated and the sooner sort of it's found in the first place, that can make a big difference to it spreading.
Well, that's really important, yeah. But just the anxiety and stress of knowing you've got this.
Yeah, it's all sorted and you don't have to worry.
So when I was ill, I didn't have cancer, but they thought I might have it. So if the doctor says you might have it, in your mind, you've got it.
You've got it, yeah.
And I wouldn't have said that I was stressed or thinking about it in the day, but I was. It was obviously at the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Because every morning for 9 months, I'd wake up and it's the first thing I'd think about.
Yeah.
Or do you know, in that stage when you're half awake but you're not awake properly?
Yeah.
That's what was running through my mind. Okay, so anything that can shorten that time from diagnosis to recovery could work. So Brian Portnoy of Shaping Wealth fame says private medical cover provides peace of mind and access to timely health care. So you know what? It might be a waste of money again. It might not get you quicker treatment. They might not be able to do it,
Yeah.
but it gives you a chance.
Yeah.
And we are all about giving you as many chances as possible, so probability is on your side. If you haven't got it, it doesn't necessarily mean you can rock up and pay for it,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure if this is true, but I think that they give priority in treatment to those that are insured.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was ill, they wouldn't accept me because I didn't have an insurer.
Yeah.
And I was desperate, and I said, look, I'll bring a wheelbarrow full of cash. What do you want?
Yeah.
And it was only because I managed to get an appointment another way that I could do it. Okay. So all of these things are super important because they give you a best chance. Hopefully, they're all a complete waste of time and money. But if they're not, they'll be the best decision you've ever made by far. Right, quick break.
Steve and Jess would be really grateful if you'd leave them a review on wherever you listen to your podcasts. If they run a star system, please give Juggling Mind and Money more stars than the Milky Way.
Hopefully, what's just played has given you the impetus to leave us a review on Juggling Mind and Money, wherever you listen to your podcast or watch us on YouTube. It's really important. Now, I know people listen because I keep getting it. This fella last week, he said, I've been listening to your podcast and I couldn't get my hat on. I couldn't believe it. Because I just thought he'd be the last person to listen to this. So thank you. You know who you are. Leave us a review. You did promise. So it'd be great to know everyone that is listening, if you could leave us a review, good or bad.
Yeah.
You know, because bad feedback's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
all
can
the
get better.
feedback. Mm-hmm.
If the feedback was this was the best podcast ever purely because of Keely.
Yeah, that's very welcomed at all times.
And then you might appear on more, mightn't you?
Yeah, maybe. Watch this space.
You'd be like, Stevie, please, can I do another podcast? That nervous laughter obviously says no. So please do that because it also helps us get us up the charts. We're already in the top 1%.
Whoop, whoop.
Imagine
Imagine.
if it was actually listened to a lot.
Yeah.
I think it is actually.
Yeah, it's going great. Going great.
But I can't ever be bothered to look at the numbers. Okay, so that's it for today. So quick recap. What's a recap?
Recap. Put it in your cup.
Quick recap. Financial protection is terribly important because if you're gone or ill or unable to work for whatever reason, where's your money coming from?
Yeah. And it's not just about the money. The money side of it is massive, and that is obviously a very good benefit to doing this. But it's all just takes away the stress, the worry, the anxiety. You've just got that stability and peace of mind that is worth so much more than, monetary numbers, isn't it?
Yeah. Get them enough money for the people you love and care for so they can go and do great stuff and remember you.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
It. Right. You can make people better off and happy.
Yeah.
Using these things. But importantly, this is about you. So you don't have to worry and you're better off and happier if anything bad happens.
Yeah.
Because it will take away all stress.
Exactly.
For you.
Typically, we do see that a lot of our clients that come into us, a lot of people think they've already got enough protection. But what we typically see is it's actually not enough, is it? They haven't got enough. And there is a bit of a deficit between what they've got now and what they should have.
That's it. So, people protect their mortgage.
Yeah.
Like, great. The mortgage company are paid off. They'll be happy.
Yeah, but what about your life?
Yeah, because the costs for your family aren't going to reduce.
Yeah.
Just to like the equivalent of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because your mortgage is paid off. Still got to heat the house.
Yeah.
Turn the lights on, feed the kids.
Yeah.
They probably have higher expenses
Yeah,
You might need more childcare if one of you's disappeared.
exactly.
So there's lots of things to think about. So sort it out. It's very easy. Do it once. Review it every few years. But make sure you get something, whether it's with us or someone else.
Yeah.
Get that life insurance and income protection. If you've got enough money afterwards, consider private medical cover, and because it can make a difference. I always think it can make a difference and cost you a load of money.
Yeah.
And it costs you a load of money because you might live longer.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the sort of the opposite of all of these things, like either something terrible happens or you've wasted your money. I'd rather waste my money. I'll pick that option every time.
That's it. You come into life with nothing, you go out with nothing. What have you lost?
Life.
No. Keely doesn't know that song, obviously. You've lost nothing.
Oh, too young for that.
All right. Thanks for listening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to have you here. Leave us a review. Otherwise, we don't know you're there and listening. So you might as well not bother. And you've probably given you earache, haven't we?
Probably.
All right. See you next time. Thanks a lot.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.